You and I have wondered about whether, for people of our age, actually using human growth hormone, if it gives you greater muscle mass and a leaner body, might not be a bad idea. Steve Dean is a reporter with the New Zealand Herald who devised and undertook his own peptide challenge, having 2 weeks of exercise followed by 2 weeks of peptides, that is, human growth hormone, which he injected himself. Steve, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Ross.
You describe yourself as reasonably unfit before you started this experiment.
Yeah, typical journalist. Too much of a sedentary lifestyle. Probably drank a bit too much, ate the wrong food, so I was fairly overweight.
Steve, so what you did was you said, I'll give myself 2 weeks of sort of reducing my intake of carbs and doing some exercise, and then I'll get on the peptides.
Yeah, I wanted to establish a baseline, so I didn't just go in and experience the benefits of getting fitter from straight exercise. So that way it wasn't entirely scientific, but I'd be better able to judge the effect of the peptide.
Was this medically supervised?
Yeah, in a way, as much as it could be. I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. These substances aren't really safe for use on humans. They haven't passed clinical trials or anything like that. That said, there have been fairly widespread. The use of them has been in the bodybuilding community. So there's a fair bit of information out there about what they do and potential side effects and that sort of stuff. But you certainly wouldn't recommend anyone doing it. I mean, I did it as part of a journalistic exercise, and I think the benefits outweighed any potential negative side effects for me. But I wouldn't recommend members of the public doing it.
Where'd you get them?
Online from an American website, or a bunch of American websites, actually. You just simply Google the name of the product you want, which in my case was GHRP6, a popular growth hormone peptide. And then take your pick, order them in, very cheap, about 30 New Zealand dollars for enough to last you 2 or 3 weeks. And then in New Zealand anyway, they will probably come through customs, no problem at all.
You got a nurse to teach you how to inject yourself, righto. When you started injecting yourself, what effect did the human growth hormone, the peptides, have on you?
Well, quite dramatic, actually. I mean, one of the problems with drug cheats is that they never really tell all until they've been caught and there's something in it for them. So finding a drug cheat who will tell you exactly what they've done and the effect is pretty hard, so I decided to do it myself. What I found is they were a tremendously powerful recovery aid. I could go to the gym and absolutely thrash myself on the weights till my muscles were jelly, and at my age, 39, that should wipe me out for a few days. I should at least be sore, but I was coming back the next day fine, doing it again, and day after day I was able to relentlessly train.
What about muscle mass? What effect did it have?
Yeah, it did have an effect, but I mean, probably not quite so pronounced on me because I was more losing fat than muscle. But over the last week in particular, I put on quite a bit more muscle. Injury repair was another interesting side effect. I had a slightly dodgy left shoulder, and it's a historical injury, and that would normally deteriorate pretty rapidly under the load I was putting it under, working out, and it didn't. It would get sore, but again, it would bounce back the next day and it would be fine again. So that was interesting.
Steve, we note that no laws were broken in the writing of your article, and if people want to know more, they can go and check Steve Dean at the New Zealand Herald. We thank you for your time.
No problem.